again, everybody. This is MD Anderson, recording again from the Motorhome Studios. Last week I left off talking about the cheer squad that I am putting together, the MD Anderson All-Stars, the Dragons, of course, and mentioned how I am learning a new software, LMMS, the Linux music software, to be able to write, compose your own type of music. So hopefully I will be able to add that to a background soundtrack to this video. I've learned quite a bit. It's been a lot of fun. However, I am more excited about this week's content. I had a lot of fun making these little posters of quotes from Leonardo da Vinci. As I've mentioned before, Leonardo da Vinci started the Shaman organization, lived kind of a dual superhero-like life, and all the Shaman organization leaders did. Leonardo da Vinci himself had many interests. Of course, he's most known as the artist. From a very young age, he was taught by some of the best artists of his time. He took it and improved upon it dramatically and made some of the most notorious paintings, both of just people, animals, actually quite a few of dragons, which worked out perfect for me, as well as a lot of religious paintings. Also, with Leonardo da Vinci, he was just as much of a philosopher as he was a painter and an inventor. So I wanted to go through a couple of his quotes. I believe that when you hear the words of somebody, you start to understand them a little bit more, and you can appreciate them a little bit more. The first quote from Leonardo da Vinci is, "The moment is timeless." It's funny how he and so many other people reflect on time, what it is, how valuable that time is to us. This next quote is the most famous that I know of from him because it's mentioned in several movies, like Ever After. That's one of my more favorite chick flicks, but I do like that one. "Life without love is no life at all." And that is true. Love is the reason we will do things. It's the emotion. It is the reason for going beyond our logic. And that's why people do some of the crazy things they do. It's because of love. When you love something, you want to admire it for every single aspect that you can, which brings up the next quote of Leonardo da Vinci. "Learning never exhausts the mind." And that is so true to me, at least. The more I learn, the more I want to learn. It's a compounding upon itself. When I learn a little bit, it's like precept upon precept. When I learn one thing, it expands into so many different things. There's another quote, I didn't do a poster of it, of everything connects to each other. Yeah, I do like that one as well. However, just once I learn one thing, it just gives me 50 different ways to learn something new. And then I pick another one of those 50, and that gives me another 50. So when I go to the number 2 of the first 50, there's another 50. So it just keeps on expanding, and I never get tired of learning. I just love to learn, especially about Leonardo da Vinci. I have learned a lot. Before this week, I didn't realize he may have actually been a vegetarian. I personally love my beef. But he had some other quotes saying that our bodies are the tombs of others, mostly animals. Of course, when you eat beef, well, that's what happens to the animals. This next one, "It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." I like this picture of the fish jumping from one fishbowl to another. He also has quite a few about being discontent. When you are not content, you're going to go out there and motivate yourself to make a difference. So this fish jumping from one bowl to the other was just the perfect picture to put to this quote. This next one also goes along with the goal process taught in the Dragonize Your Dragon Eyes book. "Study without desire spoils the memory, and it retains nothing that it takes in." It is so true. How many times have we gone to a school class where we were not thrilled with either the topic or the instructor, and yeah, everything goes in and right back out. I've always made the joke to people that the reason we have 2 ears is so that information can go in and has an escape route for the stuff we don't want. So if you have no desire to lock the one side so that it stays in there, then it's worthless time. You've spent time, lost time, that you could have been productive. So when you are in those classes that you don't like and that you dread, just take yourself a positive attitude and take from it what you can. It may be a bad experience of learning or a good experience. It is sad that, in my opinion, many teachers are not there to actually teach the people. They are there to teach a subject or a topic, which does not help engrave the knowledge that they have to give to others. And I think that's just as much of a sad thing. Da Vinci also has a couple things about the teacher needs to inspire its students, which is what I'm all about when I'm coaching and instructing. I just love to see people learn. For once you have tasted flight, you will walk the earth with your eyes turned skywards. For there you will have been, and there you will long to return. Which is interesting that nobody in the days of Leonardo da Vinci had ever flown. It wasn't for several hundred years later that the Wright brothers actually recorded their flight. That works great for me because in the Shaman Organization Bible, it has his experiences of flying with the dragon, getting that bird's eye perspective. And it's true, I love to fly. I love being in airplanes. I love window seats. I love looking down, seeing the ground below me, knowing it's thousands of feet away. And I always look to another airplane flight. It amazes me. I love it. I'll sit at airports and watch the airplanes take off, and just watching those several thousand tons leave the ground, it still amazes me. Even though I understand the concepts, the principles, how it works, there's just something about watching these massive things defy gravity according to normal logic. Which then comes to, of course, obstacles cannot crush me. Every obstacle yields to stern resolve. We all run into problems. We all have issues. Things that may seem like they will overcome us. But once we learn them, they are not out there to destroy you. They are actually there to help you take another step up. So once you learn the resolve of your situations, you have become a much better person. You trust it a little more, and you can appreciate it a little bit more, whether you love it or not. The next quote is a big deal about you becoming you. You can have no dominion greater or less than that over yourself. Once you learn yourself, you can do incredible things. I have learned so much more about me in writing these books. I've learned so much in creating the goal process itself. Step 11 is my favorite. I love to go out there and share with people what I know. It makes me feel like I have done something to contribute to me so much to the extent that I can be a benefit to others. Once you have learned yourself, you can excel. This last one is by far my most favorite. I love those who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress, and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but they whose heart is firm, and whose conscience approves their conduct, will pursue the principles unto death. The one thing that, if anybody knows about me, I love to help people smile. When I'm coaching, the first thing I would do is tell people, smile. I'll do this all the time when I'm coaching. I will work with a kid, particularly on the beam, if that's what we were working on. Most kids in gymnastics are afraid of getting on that beam. They know, there's a knowledge in their head that says, I can fall, I can get hurt. There's another one in here I didn't do a poster of about Leonardo da Vinci's recommendation of fear, in that it will preserve your life just as much as trust will progress you. And I have taught that to gymnasts, not realizing that I was actually reflecting upon teachings of Leonardo da Vinci. I would tell kids, go ahead, be scared. You need to be scared, because if you aren't, you will get hurt. If you quit, you will be conquered by your own fear and not by anybody else. So with a little bit more knowledge of how things work, keeping your balance above that little 4 inches, you can do some incredible skills. And the first thing I tell them to do is smile. Well, on the beam, there's a couple reasons. We want our kinetics to be perfectly in line. If we start bending, gravity pulls the easiest way. So when they start slouching in fear, that's when they will lose their balance. That's when they will panic. and that's when they will fall and possibly hurt themselves. So once you teach them the few basic concepts, shoulders back, nice and tall, make it straight. Gravity cannot pull you down when it's vertical. Once it's vertical, gravity will actually sustain your height. And it's an amazing fact once kids learn that and start holding their balance, controlling their muscles. So that's one reason I will tell them to smile. The other reason is when you smile, you naturally lift your shoulders. You naturally make yourself taller. You naturally lift your chin. And it makes everything in perfect alignment. There's another thing, it's called physiognomy. It means what's on the inside is a reflection of the outside, or vice versa, what's on the outside is a reflection of the inside. Sad people tend to frown. When you frown, you slouch, you fall over. And again on the beam, that is your first step to falling. So I change their physiognomy. I pull it up, I lift it up, and it starts with a smile. So once they learn that, they become tremendously better, tremendously quickly. And what I admired most about this quote from Leonardo da Vinci was he appreciated smiles. If you really want to get my attention, show me a smile. I will appreciate it. I love smiles. Something I like to do is when I'm walking up and down the streets, I will pass people I'll never see again. I will try to make eye contact with almost everybody I see and smile at them. And the reactions I get are quite funny. Some people look at you like, oh, who's this? And then other people will just be like, what you looking at? You know, it's like, and I can pick out personalities in a second just because I will give them a smile. And they can't defeat that. It's me. Every now and then I'll get somebody who like double glances at me smiling at them, and they'll realize, oh, I'm not smiling either. And then every now and then, and I love it when this happens, is people will smile genuinely right back. So if anybody wants my attention, you try to smile at me first, and you will get my attention. Because that's what I look for in people, is happiness. And I'm hoping even if you're putting a mask on, because we all do this, sometimes inside we are hurt, we're sore, and we've got to overcome some of that. And our biggest fear is changing out of that fear. I don't know why, it's just something that we do. So once you acknowledge, even though it's a mask, you put something on the outside, we will believe that you are that on the inside. And that will strengthen you, even if it is just a mask in the temporary time. I really do hope that you enjoyed this vlog. This one means a lot to me. I had a lot of fun putting this one together. Make sure that you subscribe to this vlog so that every week you can get the update of these videos. I hope that you go back and watch the other vlogs about the goal process from the Dragonize Your Dragon Eyes, or just go to the website dragonvels.com and download or purchase the book from Amazon or Kindle. And until then, I hope you guys have another great week.